Alrighty, boys, we're back with another discussion video. What's it called for today? And I did state that we are going to have a dev talk video later tonight. I am going to push that back to tomorrow morning. I have a lot of it written in terms of the script, but I do want to put out a little bit more Assassin's Creed content. It's very popular right now. Hopefully, you guys understand. You know, I got to push this channel up. It is what it is. Plus, I am enjoying the game. But this is going to be what's it called? The next discussion video that I had planned, and another one that a person from my Discord helped me with, helped me find pretty much, because I have been kind of playing Assassin's Creed a little bit more. Thank you very much, that person. Also, to anybody watching, you guys can join the Discord. We talk about Bannerlord, just like my community in general, and all that stuff. So if that looks like something you want to do, the link will be down below. And like always, this link will be down below as well. So let's get into it. It has a lot of dev replies. There's like a couple pages of it. We're going to go through it. We're going to go through the original poster. This guy right here. This guy's a comedian over here. And then we're going to go through the dev replies. I'm going to give my opinion, and we're going to go from there. Alrighty. So Tail World's scripted wars need to stop. You need to fix some kind of solid but interesting diplomacy, and no, this is not about Kingdom single player. Okay, let's see what he has to say. I don't really understand what scripted wars are, but all right, let's read it. Hopefully this is serious, because he's the guy who created the Soon article. You know what I mean? So let's see. And I think he watches my videos as well, so you know who you are. You know who you are. Alrighty. So after many campaigns during my 1.4K hours playing this game, I've not. That's crazy. Bro, where's the proof, man? I need some proof, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of hours. That's a little bit more than double than what I have. That's crazy. A good, hey. Okay. So during my 1.4K hours playing this game, I've now come to the conclusion that the wars are for the most part scripted. Okay. As I went back to playing as Sturgians right now, I've noticed as always that both Britannia and Vlandians, now with a short war with Khazaits after some patching, are going to war with you as they massacre your western side straight from the start. It didn't take them many days to take over those cities. It's no problem for me having this kind of action if the AI now should have chosen that way. The only thing that is not alright is the game feels so scripted and almost same stuff happens all the time. Okay, so he's stating that like every new playthrough, like the wars kind of follow a same what would you call it? Like a same I'm trying to figure out the right name for it. But pretty much what happens is every time he starts a new game, he starts playing, the same wars tend to happen, and kind of like the AI decides to make the same war decisions. Okay. No matter which country you're with, usually the same wars break out along some small diversities here and there. Please correct me if I might have seen this wrong, but most of my playthroughs, which is a lot, from all sides usually look the same. I wanted to be sure before I went out with this statement, since I've seen some small diversities here and there, but still it usually looks like the same depending on which faction you join, since the pressure is on towards that one instead. I don't understand what that means, but okay. But I could also remember some things wrong too, so I put some reservation for gaps in my memory bank. All right, without reading any of the dev responses, I don't think it's scripted. Maybe the code is kind of simple to the point where, you know, if you make kind of very simple decisions, it's going to be interpreted and it's going to be like the same type of wars. But I'm pretty sure from previous things that we have seen from the developers, like code-wise even, that the way they declare war and declare peace, like there's a formula for it. And if there's a formula for it, doesn't mean it's like a, you know, first this happens, second that happens. It's kind of more reactive. But yeah, see, wars are declared based on a couple of factors. One being they border us. Another factor is if we are at war already. Yeah, we went over a whole thread about like all the ways that, you know, this happens. But I'm not going to read what everyone else has to say. I'm going to see what the developers have to say because I think they, the more knowing, right? So let's see. So this guy right here, he posts a lot of good stuff on the forums too. So he stated that Mexico tested the game with both bonuses gone in its most stable 10-year map I've ever seen. The Kazate's cultural speed bonus is definitely a big factor as well. Okay. So now the developer replies, I am working on making map/kingdoms more balanced for 3 to 4 weeks. And for people before anybody comments it, because people always want to comment it because they've commented on this before. What he's trying to say here is he kind of switched over to a new aspect of the game, which is the war diplomacy aspect, 3 to 4 weeks ago. That doesn't mean that the developers just started working on it 3 to 4 weeks ago. It just means they kind of switched their positions around, if that kind of makes sense, right? Alright, so did not change bonuses yet because it is not my area. So the bonuses for the kingdoms were not changed yet. It wasn't his area. He stated that in the other video we went over. I reported they are causing problems, but they still are the same. Bonuses have a very big effect on the snowballing problem. However, even bonuses are same with fixing different problems at different parts. Now factions are more resistant. Finally, I got good results after fixing so many different things. I will update you this Friday with details, which is tomorrow. We will go over it tomorrow as soon as this update comes out. Hopefully it has some juicy stuff. He said there's going to be graphs and code and stuff of that nature, so I am very excited. We are going to cover it fully. These changes will be in the game in the next 2 updates. He said in 1.5.6 in the previous post. By the way, wars are not scripted. If 2 factions are neighboring, they usually have a war or tribute deal. Makes sense. Here's the map of the 22nd year of the game after these updates without player interaction. Wait a minute, what? After these updates without player... Okay, so this is 22 years into the game with no player interactions. Doesn't even look that bad. Interesting. Still looks pretty good. Really nice, Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. For more information about all changes, wait this Friday. I am. We all are. Very excited. But alright, let's keep reading. So normally 2 to 3 factions... Wait, hold on. This is the first time I saw Vlandians with so few cities and it looks beautiful. The Kazates are as their usual, I guess. Yeah, you usually see the Vlandians kind of have like this whole area right here. Here's how I've seen it in my playthroughs. Vlandians keep this whole area. The Kazates, they usually like ride on top of here and just take over the rest of Sturgia, like have like this big like thing. Southern Empire kind of takes over this area for me. The Azerai just always stay down here. Battanians kind of struggle, but they still have a foothold. Northern Empire, rest in peace. Western Empire, rest in peace. Like those guys don't stand a chance. Even though in their playthroughs they somehow are, but in my playthroughs, those 2 guys are arrested right away. They're out. It's over with. And what's it called? The Sturgians usually have like this left, if anything. That's how my playthroughs have went. But this is very good looking to me because, as you can see, Kazates aren't going that crazy. Battanians are going kind of more than expected. But overall, everybody's still intact. Even if it's just 2, it's still still intact. Alrighty, so normally 2 to 3 factions eliminated until the 1100s at versions 1.5.4 plus next patch. Now all are on the map, even if it's 1105. Okay, so now they've improved it to the point where, factions are staying alive for a lot longer than they did before. Before, 2 to 3 factions would be dead by this point, but now even past the 1100s, which is... I don't know what year the game starts on. I want to say it's a little bit before the 1100s. I think, what is it, like 20 years? Was it like 85? What is it, 1085 is when they start? One of those. But yeah, so what they're saying is like 2 or 3 factions used to be eliminated before 1.5.4 or at the versions of 1.5.4, but now at the current version, they're still on the map, right? Okay, so also in this playthrough, even some factions left with 2 towns, Sturgia and Northern Empire, reduced to 2 towns at some point periods, they again get stronger and have 5 to 6 towns. One of the most important problems was if one faction reduced to 1, 2, 3 towns, they weren't able to get stronger again, because they still most stronger, or the most strongest. because of their OP faction bonus, and they cannot get 40% of the world at the first 20 now. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. Yeah, they're still doing very good, obviously, right? But they're not as before. If you look, I'll be honest with you. If you did this experiment, let's say in like 1.4, right, or 1.3, in 20 years of in-game time, the Khazaits, you can put a line like right over here. This is all Khazaits. You know what I mean? So I think it's gotten a lot better. Definitely gotten a lot better. Yes, there's obviously more to be done. There's always more to be done. I don't think the system will ever be fully finished, you know, but I think improvements are being made. And the developer did say, oh, I think one of my videos was rendering, but the developer did say that, what do you call it? That in 1.5.6, it should be, snowballing should be like not a problem at all. So hopefully those are some very big changes coming up, and we're going to see how those are, affect the gameplay. Let's keep going. We got some more over here. That sounds great. I'm excited about a new playthrough, though. Will these changes get implemented within the new beta, or still 3 to 4 weeks to work on them? Great info nonetheless. He says in the next 2 patches, so a while. It's going to be a while. There'll be a new patch for beta soon. It will not include these changes, but the next 2 patches / updates will include them. This post was about scripted wars, by the way. However, it's not the case. There's no scripted wars in the game. There will be no update about war / peace system. They are not scripted. These developments will be only for weakened factions to resist more on the map, to make more comebacks, and slow down snowballing by doing better money / influence management and making better decisions. Okay, so that's how they're... Okay, so that kind of gives us a little insight of how they're kind of looking into it. So, obviously, their war and peace decisions for right now, they look like they're okay with them, right? So they're deciding to make it so weaker factions kind of, you know what I mean, like play smarter and kind of make comebacks. I think that's good. Yeah, that's a good way to actually look at it. I did not think they were going to go in that direction. Good idea. What else do we got? So why are the same factions making war with each other every time I'm joining them, and why are the X3 factions making war with one another? You join as a merc. Saying it is a bug then, I guess, but I don't see the diversity here in wars like I did in Warband, but the same factions, X-Valanian, Battanians, against Sturgians every time I played Sturgians recently, which is 5 rounds or more. Alrighty, now the developer responds, you are not a factor in deciding war and peace. This can be explained by luck. Also, Vlandians usually in war against Battania or Azerai, because they generally war with Northern or Southern Empire or Sturgia. Western Empire usually in war with Battania or Azerai or Southern Empire if borders did not change much. It has no sense declaring war to further enemies. There it is. He states kind of like, who's usually to get at war with, and obviously those guys who are bordering each other. Those are usually where the wars become, right? Alrighty, so we got this whole little conversation here. The player then responds, this is not RNG from my understanding, but I'm not the one knowing the data either. I'm just seeing the pattern clearly. Okay, well, look, all I'm saying is this developer, I'm pretty sure it was this developer too, he did show us some code on how War and Peace is decided, how clans decide if they're going to go to war, or how they decide, not clans, how kingdoms decide if they're going to go to war or go to peace. And there was a big, code equation, or, you know what I mean, like how they picked if they were going to do it or not, based on a lot of factors, right? So I can tell you right now that it's not scripted. It could be based out of luck, like I stated before. It could be based off the decisions that the player made around the world. It's not directly impacted by the player, right? Like the developer stated, but at the same time, decisions that you make around the world and how you change the world have an indirect correlation to how stuff in the world happens, if that kind of makes sense, right? Okay, so, I missed the point. Okay, wait, so he did say something. Hold on. I'm just seeing a pattern clearly every time I'm rolling on a new campaign, that's all. We were at war instantly with 3 factions as soon as I joined the Southern Empire without any stop. Directly after I left, they made peace with all factions. Okay. So we did go over this bug, and that's what he's about to mention too. So there was a bug where if you joined specific kingdoms, you would get targeted because, like in a way, the player was directly impacting war and peace decisions. but they weren't supposed to. It was a bug, right? And that's kind of what he's about to state here. We went over a thread where the developer and a player kind of went back and forth, looked through the code, this, and that, and they did figure out it was a bug, and it should have been fixed if I'm not mistaken. Oh, maybe it's not fixed yet. Okay, so, I missed a point. There was a bug. If a player is in any faction, all votings were not initiated. Only option is clicking on icons at the right of the screen to initiate it, or player to offer peace/war decisions. As mercenary, you will not be able to initiate, so your faction cannot go to peace. I do not know where this bug was created, but it will also be fixed in the next 2 updates. Probably your problem is related to this bug. There it is. There it is. So there's problems with being a mercenary because you can't obviously do the voting for peace and stuff of that nature. But I'm pretty sure they already have the fix for it. It just needs to get put onto a patch and put out. Alrighty, what else do we got? Can't vote as a merc though, and this is not about being a vassal, even if it persists to. I don't know exactly what he means by this, but you're not supposed to be able to vote as a mercenary because since you're not part of the actual kingdom. As you know, sometimes factions start voting on war/peace declarations. If a player is in the faction as merc or vassal, and if he or she does not click on the icon showed up at the right of the screen, mercenaries cannot do it. This voting will not be voted and resulted. After 2 days of some time, the pass icon goes and the voting is not done. If the player is mercenary, you won't even see the icon, so new peace/war declarations cannot be taken. This is a bug and it was already fixed, but I do not know when it will be on beta. Alright, so what he means by this is the bug that I was talking about. I couldn't explain it the best way, but there it is. So pretty much what happens is if there's a vote for war or peace whenever you're a vassal or a mercenary, and if you don't vote on it, if you don't actively go and click on it, it's not going to remind you, it's not going to say it's a last minute decision like some voting is when it comes to, like, let's say when you own your own kingdom and you make peace or you get a new settlement, the game literally stops and says, hey, you have to make a decision. For these peace or war declarations, if you are a vassal or a mercenary, you don't have to actually go and make that decision. But if you don't, it will just disappear. And therefore, let's say your kingdom wants to make peace. If you're a vassal and you don't click on it, peace won't be made. But also, if you're a mercenary, since you don't see these notifications because you're not supposed to, they never get made because they still are looking for that player interaction, which they're not going to get, if that kind of makes sense. So that's the bug, and I'm pretty sure there's a fix already, right? It's to say that it's already fixed, but they don't know when it's going to be on the beta. Alrighty, related to the bug, it'll be fixed in 1.5.6. There it is. Alright, he says in 3 weeks can be a beta, or maybe I can talk to people to send as a hotfix. Okay, so either it'll come out as a hotfix or it'll be 1.5.6, which is in a while. Alright. Let's see this. Yes, please, it is important. And what happened to Britannia? There are cities with way over 500 militia in it. I like this. We've been over this. I've had this conversation with you guys. I'm still a firm believer that every single kingdom should have a capital city, and the capital city should be huge. It should be a stronghold, and I think that it would improve the gameplay a lot. I'm going to stand on that hill until someone makes it a mod or it goes into the game. I think capital cities would be great. So while people see this as a bug, I see this as, I can't think of a word for it. It's beautiful. That's all I can say. It's beautiful. But alright, can you give me a screenshot from militia change detail by entering the town and mouse over militia numbers? Probably this happened because Britannia culture has a +1 militia bonus, and also this town has high prosperity, 6.7k, so their daily militia production is high. Also, the settlement probably has a project giving bonus to militia bonus. Also, I see a governor effect of 2.5 in some towns, which is so high and needs to be reduced a bit. Ooh, so possible governor effect reductions coming soon too. There it is. And I think that is all. Alrighty, boys. We got some info. Kind of went off the topic of the whole scripted wars thing because that was an easy answer to it. But there's some info. Let me know what you guys think about it. All that. Like I said, a Dev Talk video will be coming probably tomorrow morning. And yeah, we're going to go from there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Ask me any questions, concerns, and like always, stay safe. Oh, and also, for all the people who support my what's it called Assassin's Creed videos, but you guys don't even want to really watch it, I appreciate you guys. But you know, I gotta do what I gotta do for this channel. So there it is. But like always, stay safe, boys and girls.